Okay, so this is FMS 230, and this is for my option A, track 2 commentary. And I'm going to be looking at Silence of the Lambs, and I'm going to be analyzing two separate scenes. And the first scene that I'm going to be analyzing is the scene between Dr. Lester and Clarice Starling. And I'm going to be looking in particular at the zoom in of the camera and the high angle shots and the low angle shots, and the effect that these have and like the choices that are made. Okay, so I'm gonna start this scene off. And just one moment, there we are.
You got the things you want. All right, yes. And please tell me how.
So I want to point out that right now we're somewhat far away from their faces.
You don't have any more vacations to sell.
And I also want to look at these bars.
Why did you leave that ranch?
Particularly when we're looking at Dr. Lester.
We don't have any more time for any of this now.
But we don't reckon time the same way, do we, Clarice? This is all the time you'll ever have.
Later, now please listen to me. We've only got 5.
I think that the bars make an interesting sort of addition to the just visual of this, that they're in the foreground and they're in the background. And it's like they're blurred out and they're not in focus at all. So it almost makes them like seem unimportant, which in a way, and in these interactions, I think that they are unimportant. Because while he might be in a cage, we still see this high angle shot on Clarice, which is creating this sort of condescension. She looks really vulnerable and we feel like we're above her. Versus this low angle shot when we're looking at Dr. Lester, which makes him above us, and it makes us, well, I apologize, I mixed that up. It feels like we're up higher and above Clarice, and during this, the high angle shot, and then with the low angle shot with Dr. Lester, he feels higher than us, so we feel vulnerable.
No, I will listen.
Like so.
Now.
So we're looking up at him and down at him.
After your father's murder, you were orphaned. You were 10 years old.
And we've also gotten much closer to the screen. So he's in a lot sharper, more deeper, like zoomed in a lot on his face right now. And there we go. And it's going to just continue.
You went to live with cousins on a sheep and horse ranch in Montana.
And one morning I just ran away.
Not just, Clarice. What set you off?
So right here in particular.
You started at what time?
We're getting a zoom
Early,
in.
still dark.
Then something woke you, didn't
And
it? Was it a
continuing
dream?
to zoom in. So I think that this, combined with the low angle shot, so we're looking up at him. So we are in Clarice's position right now, and we feel vulnerable. We feel like he's above us, but combined with that is this huge zoom in where we're getting incredibly close to Dr. Lester's face. And I think it really allows the actors' emotions to come through in a way that we wouldn't be able to see otherwise. And here we go.
What was it?
I heard a strange noise.
What was it?
It was screaming. Some kind of screaming, like a child's voice.
What did you do?
And so here we get like this really massive, I just missed it, I apologize, but we get a really massive close-up on Dr. Lester's face. And now we're going to start seeing a zoom in upon Clarice's.
Went downstairs, outside. I crept up into the barn. I was so scared to look inside, but I had to.
What did you see, Clarice?
So
What
this zoom in is sort of mirroring the emotion. It's going along with the conversations. As the conversation gets more intense, we get this more intense look at them. We get this more intense look at their emotions, at their eyes, at what they're feeling. And it really just makes everything a lot more raw. And I think that, coupled with the angle of the shot, is really crucial for this scene.
see?
Lambs. They were screaming.
They were slaughtering the spring lambs,
They were screaming.
and you ran away?
No. First I tried to free.
So I'm going to zoom ahead a little bit here.
I don't know.
we get a huge, this whole scene in a lot of ways I think is about Clarice. We get the most screen time on Clarice, and it's about her emotion. This is, I mean, it's called The Silence of the Lambs, and this is really the only mention that we get of lambs at all. So I think that it's really important that we look at that. And then as this scene continues, we actually, I think it's important that we actually see Clarice get dragged away from Dr. Lester.
It's your turn, Doctor.
Out.
Tell me his name.
Sorry, ma'am, I've got orders. Had to put you in a place. Come on
So,
now.
Brave Clarice. You will let me know when those lambs stop screaming, won't you?
Tell me his name, Doctor.
so the first time interaction we see between Clarice and Dr. Lester, we actually have Clarice running away. And I think it's really important now that, like, and I think it kind of almost symbolizes a change in their relationship, that she is now having to be forced to go away from him. Like, they have this really intriguing sort of respect, maybe not respect, but they both want to hear what each other have to say, and they both have valuable information to one another. And right here, we get a low angle shot on Dr. Lester, and he actually stands up, which makes the angle even sharper, and we feel really small, and it really emphasizes that he's more powerful than her in this instance.
Clarice! Your case file.
Particularly right here.
Bye, Clarice.
We are looking completely down on Clarice. Okay, and that's what I have to say for that scene. And then I'm just going to put us over really quickly to the rule of a scene that I think portrays the rule of thirds really well. And just one moment while I find that. Okay, so I think that this is a really good example of the rule of thirds just coming up right here. So we, once again, I think this director really likes the zoom in and then the zoom out for this one.
Clear. Command post.
And I think right here is a really great example. So we've got clearly even shown by figures. We have our police officer and the man down in the foreground. I think our middle ground is sort of this chair and this other man. And then we've got the cage in the very background. And I think it really just really is like this huge emphasis upon, and it really just puts the maximum potential almost to make this scene as almost iconic as it can be, because this, while there's almost a lot going on, I still think it's really important. Like, there's this lighting upon the cage and upon this, like, I think of it sort of as a dark angel upon the figure. And it's just this whole breakup that goes on, I think makes it a lot easier to see, and I think makes it a lot more powerful. And okay, so that's it for my option commentary A. Thank you, and have a good night.